All right. I am very underexposed. Still a little bit much. There we go. That's a little bit better. Why can't I change my white balance while I'm recording? That's a little stupid there. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough here. I'll turn up my... Nope, guess not. Okay. Hi, it's me. I'll be honest with you. Where did I put my water? I have already recorded this twice, I think. Yeah, twice. And I could have probably just uploaded the last take, but I'm choosing to do it again for mostly just like I wasn't super concise, and it was like a 20-minute recording, and I don't really have the energy to edit it tonight. Actually, what time is it? I don't know where I've put my phone. Oh, there is my phone. It is 8 o'clock. And I don't feel like editing it, so here we are. Hi, it's me. It's another Monday. So I guess I'm doing these on Mondays. I think I said those exact words last week. I think I'm just going to stick with it, though, because honestly, it gives me a little bit more time to... I don't really have to worry about it on the weekend. Like, I don't have much time on Monday nights either, but I'd rather waste a Monday night than like Sunday or Saturday night. So here we are. What happened last week? I'll start with the fun stuff. Well, this afternoon, I think around like 3, my family and I, we got back from a camping trip up at Skyview Campground in Manning Park, which, beautiful place, by the way. It's a bit of a newer park, so the trees aren't like fully grown, so there's a little lack of privacy here and there, which is a little uncomfortable for us, but whatever. It's nice because it has full trailer hookups, which is like, easy mode for trailer camping. It's not really camping at that point. Like, if you're bringing a trailer, it's more like glamping, but whatever. Wow, I actually did it. No, never mind. If I look up, then you see the light. But yeah, it was nice. We were up there for Thanksgiving. We were there from Friday till today, and trying to get up and down like the hill, trying to get up to Manning with our Toyota Tundra from like 2008 in our trailer is a little bit tedious, because we're a little bit underpowered there, bud, especially fully loaded with water, but it's fine. But yeah, it was nice. It was a great Thanksgiving. It was also my birthday on Sunday, so I'm 19 now. Woohoo! I can drink in Canada. I find most alcohol gross, though, so I probably won't be drinking a bunch. So yeah, it was great though. I'm really glad that we went with the people that we did, because we've known them forever. Like, my parents, my dad grew up with with their dad, and then we grew up knowing, like, us kids grew up knowing each other, so we're really close, and it was great. And yeah, and I'm super happy that we were there, and it was a great weekend. It was such a beautiful place. Doing the loop around the lake, I don't remember which lake it's called, but doing the loop around the lake was really nice. My friend jumped off the bridge, and we got some nice video and photo of that. See, if this was a main channel video, I would edit that cough and that water breakout, but we're not quite there yet. So yeah, it was nice. Super happy that we were there. It was awesome. Yeah, we just got back, and my office is now a mess. Like, the room I'm in is now a mess. If it wasn't a hassle, I would like pan the camera, but it's too much work, and I'm a lazy person. So yeah, there's a mess everywhere. like on that side of the room over there, there's some trash that I'll talk about in a sec, but there's all of our camping supplies, or not all of it, but like, so it's the end of the camping season, so we have to take all of the linens out of our trailer, and we take out all of like the sleeping bags and the pillows and the blankets and all that, just so that it doesn't like grow mold in the cold and like damp seasons. And that's fine, except that it lives in my office, which I pay rent for, and it's an eyesore because it's in giant plastic bags. You know, honestly, I can't really complain because, you know, my parents still let me live at home. Great money saving technique, by the way. I'm not being a bother on them before anyone says. They're actually encouraging me to stay with them so that I can save money to get a nicer apartment right out of the gate, which, you know, that's cool. Anyways, yeah, so all of our camping stuff is over there. We actually packed it away a little bit nicer this year because there's a table there that we can kind of hide stuff under. So if I'm filming, like shooting that way, it doesn't look as gross. It's still there, which I'm not happy about, but whatever. And then over here, there's all of my stuff that I brought camping with, like, I've got my camera bag, I've got like a bag with my Switch and stuff, because, you know, there's some parts of the day where you're just tired and you just want to sit down and maybe play some Minecraft or some Rocket League or something. But yeah, in other news, some of the other stuff that's kind of littered around here has to do with something else I did last week, which was completely rebuild my computer due to a flaw with my old case. So, I have an all-in-one liquid cooler, which, you know, there's some arguments to be made about how good they are and how long they're gonna last. But, you know, at this point, I'm gonna retire my computer and build a new one in about a year or so. So I'm not gonna really swap it out at this point. Anyways, oh my goodness, my train of thought is all over the place today. Anyways, due to a flaw with my old case, there was an issue with where the pump sat versus where the radiator sat. And so, if you don't know, with any kind of water loop in general, anything where you have a pump that's pumping water or pumping liquid, you don't want the pump to be the highest point of the loop, because what happens is some of the liquid will evaporate, right? And so, if the pump is at the top of the loop, and say when you get it brand new, the water level is at the top, that's fine. As time goes by, the water will evaporate a little bit, and so it'll go down and down. Now, the problem with an all-in-one cooler, or the problem that I was experiencing with my cooler, was that enough liquid had evaporated to where it wasn't fully filling up the pump. And the pump was at the highest point of my loop due to a limitation of my old case, which I actually conveniently have right here. Because of there's essentially like a big like optical bay in the front of the case. It blocked off a significant chunk of where you could mount a radiator. And so the radiator sat about here. No, it was about here at the top. And then the pump would be a little bit higher over here. And so it was starting to run without some liquid in part of it, and it was starting to grind and burn itself out, which I was like, not happening. Because I don't, like, again, my current computer is nearing its end of life for me. I would like to upgrade, mostly because, you know, new stuff is cool, but also because there are some workloads where my current configuration is not powerful enough, and to get it up to a point where I'd be happy with, like, for the long term, it would require like so many parts being swapped out that it's just more worth it to sell this and get a new computer. So I decided that I would swap the case, because that would fix my problems with the cooler. I've been talking about this for way too long. The audience retention is going to be horrible. So yeah, I swapped it into a Corsair 4000D Airflow, sorry, which was a very good move on my part, because now it runs so much better. The the radiator is now at the top of the case instead of at the front, too far down. So no more air bubbles in the pump. It's not going to burn itself out, which is great. And then I also bought more, fans to keep it cooler, because beforehand my computer would sound like it was taking off, which, it's fine if you have headphones and you have something playing. But even when you didn't have anything going and you had headphones on, you could hear it. And even with stuff playing, you could kind of hear it. And now I turn it on and it is silent. It's not silent, but like it is comparatively like no noise. It's awesome. It's amazing. I highly recommend if you don't have all of the if you're not maximizing the amount of fans that you can have in your case, you're missing out, because it is so easy to do and it's super cheap. Just go buy a 5-pack of Arctic P12s for 60 Canadian dollars, which is like what, 40 USD, 30 USD or something like that. And you have better cooling, you have quieter computer. It's a win-win. And if you buy stupid RGB fans because they look better, why are you spending like 120 Canadian dollars on a 3-pack of Corsair LL120s? They're not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm sorry, it's not worth it. But yeah. So I'm really happy about that, and that's been something that was something I spent a bunch of time on last week, because I was like, I use my computer every day. I might as well have it last as long as it possibly can, because and if it looks nicer, that does help me sell it for a little bit of a better price. I'm not gonna get a great return because I spent a bunch of money to get it at this point, like $200 just for the case and fans. I got new storage recently. Granted, when I sell it, I'll probably just throw the old stuff back in. But yeah, got new storage, so there's a bit of a sunk cost here, but I'm pretty happy with it for now, and especially if I'm planning on keeping it for another year or so, who cares? I am out of water. All right, we're coming up on 12 minutes, so I have one last bit I want to talk about, and then I'll kind of wrap it up. So, as some of you know, I am okay. Actually, I don't think I talked yet about kind of the lighting. It's a little bit nicer than usual, and that's because I said this before, but I want this. I'm hoping a personal outcome of this series. I hate saying that I do a YouTube series. It's cringe. But an outcome of this series that I hope happens is I'll find another topic or another handful of topics that I'm super passionate about, and that I will be able to put the time and effort into preparing and producing a full main channel video. Key example from before I started the series, but the key example of a really big passion project was the 3DS video that I created, which again, I said it last week, but thank you so much for all the success on. I don't think it was last. I think I said at the beginning of this little series thing. Thank you so much for the support on that. It's been amazing. 86,000 people saw that video. And I had such goofy hair. Even right now, my hair is goofy. If this video blows up, I'll be angry. I'm joking. My new chair is a little bit goofy. The armrest slide, and I put pressure on it, and then it went whoop, and I slid. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. I'm trying. So, anyways, yeah. I hope that an outcome of this for me is that I can come up with more ideas where I'm super passionate about it and want to make a larger video on it. And I'm hoping that as the weeks go on, I want to start putting in a little bit more effort here and there, so that maybe I can kickstart my a creative burst where I'm I want to talk about this, or I want to showcase this, or something like that. And the first step, I guess, is with just setting up my camera on my actual tripod instead of this little handheld tripod with this really cool ball head mount that has a quick release plate, you know, all cool stuff. But, you know, if I can put more effort in, hopefully then somehow I'll kickstart a creative burst, which would be awesome. And then in the kind of the same vein of creativity and cameras and all that, I've been looking at like some new lenses, and oh my goodness, Sigma has been like, okay, I think it's a 10 to 8. Hold on, I have my phone right here. I can literally verify this. Sigma, yeah, 10 to 18 millimeter f2.8 lens, f2.8 Sony lens for 850 Canadian dollars. That's a lot more. That's a lot, but I think the Sony version, which is an f4, Sony 10 to 18 f4. Yeah, that is almost, no. What's the new one? Sony's new one. The 10 to 20 is, it's about the same price, but that's an f4 lens, which, you know, the f4 is fine, and it's what I'm shooting at now. And sorry, if you don't know what I'm saying, like f4, f2.8, f1, that is the aperture, that is the f-stop. I don't remember the formula off the top of my head because I'm not that much of a nerd, but it's basically the mathematical explanation for how much light gets let onto the sensor of the camera. F4 it's all right, but it's not super fast. It's like kind of slow-ish. But f2.8 is reasonably fast, and it's a pretty good standard for low light. Anyways, Sigma puts out a lot of really good lenses that are often the same price, if not cheaper, as the Sony, like the first party Sony equivalents, and maybe they're like a bit faster. So they have a lower f-stop, which gives you a little bit more depth of field, like the super blurry background and background separation that you see in a lot of like bigger creators videos. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Actually, not many bigger creators do it to like a gross extent. If you look at a lot of TikTok creators, it's really bad there. They'll get like an f1.4 lens and shoot at f1.4 all the time. And it can look cool, but at a certain point, when your entire background is just blur, geez, my I'm gonna ruin my throat. I have no more water. At a certain point, when your entire background is just blur, it doesn't look great. And so you got to learn how to use it in moderation. Anyways, the problem is none of the Sigma lenses that I'm looking at are stabilized, which is a problem. So the lens I'm using right now is stabilized, and if I were to take it off my tripod and shoot handheld, it would be a little bit jittery, but it would still be mostly usable. If I were to use an unstabilized lens, it would look horrible. It would be a jittery mess, and it would probably cause some motion sickness. And that is just a limitation of my camera. My camera doesn't have sensor stabilization. It doesn't have any sort of gyroscope data to fix it in post, and it doesn't have any sort of in-camera video stabilization, which is fine. Like it was the lowest tier model. It's the lowest tier model of Sony's APS-C line that you can still buy. And so, yeah. And so I'm looking at these lenses, and I'm really annoyed because, wow, I should have just used the other take. Well, whatever. I'm happier with this take so far because I'm explaining things better, even though my voice is dying. The problem is, so I'll still probably end up getting the lens that I'm looking at, but the problem is I'll never be able to shoot with it handheld unless I upgrade my camera, which is really stupid because I don't know. It's reasonably I could justify upgrading my camera because I've come up against the limitations of this body. Like, I still love it, and I can still do so much with it, but I've hit its limitations. I can't really do much color grading because of like the video format that it records in. I can't do super high frame rates, which, you know, I don't really shoot in high frame rates anyways. But yeah, the flexibility is always nice. I can't, you know, there's no stabilization, and it's got a flip up screen, which gets in the way more often than not. You know, for photography, I will probably not get rid of this. If anything, I would upgrade to the A6600 for a dedicated photography camera and like B cam. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's just one of those things where it annoys me because I really like their Sigma's lenses, but they're not stabilized, so it's like a huge like consideration I have to make. It's like, am I okay with buying a 600 like a $550 lens that's only going to live on a tripod while I'm using this camera, or do I want to spend like $200 to $300 more on the Sony? Actually, I don't. Hold on. Sony APS-C 16 millimeter. Do they even have one? They do. Wow. Oh, but that's really fisheye. It's got a big old like yeesh. Yeah, the 16 to 55 from Sony is 1300. So that's not really worth it, just to get stabilization. And it's something that I'm going to have to live with, but whatever. The camera rant actually went way longer than I thought it would. Jeez. All right. With all that said, my camera's about to run out of battery. So I guess I'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Joel. If you enjoyed.
Joel?
Yeah.
I'm about to switch longer.
Okay, I'll come do it in a sec. That was my dad. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, or even comment. You know, all those are cool. I do, as usual, encourage you to go check out my main channel because maybe there'll be something there that you enjoy. I'm particularly proud of the 3DS video. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week.